My name is Gavin. I'm 17. I'm a senior at Monticello High School. I graduated Catholic Charities. My childhood, honestly, was really hard for me and my siblings. Both my parents were divorced since I was 4. That's when I didn't see my dad for 2 years. And that was kind of a big part. Tons of things changed. I started school. Mom didn't really have enough time. Dad wasn't really in the picture for a while. My mom really couldn't do anything about it because if my dad retaliated, he might hurt my mom. My mom was always working, so she was never really home. And that's where my sisters were the ones who would take care of us. I pretty much stopped doing all the sports I used to do. Grades were just really bad. And the one therapist I had wasn't really working before that, so he just kind of left us out in the middle of the desert.
Gavin was born, he was an exciting little baby with a big smile. The relationship I was in was not good. It was very abusive. One of the last things Gavin saw of us together was me being 8 months pregnant and getting thrown down the stairs and having a gun to my head. So the trauma was real. After his dad and I split, I put Gavin on medicine when he was about 3rd grade. And then his grades started to drop. COVID was part of it. I was trying to get him back into sports, back into school. It just seemed to keep going downhill and downhill and downhill. We had him on a new medication, Vyvanse. It ended up making him aggressive. And it was very immediate that we noticed what it was when we got him into the hospital after he received a 5th-degree assault against me. Unfortunately, we couldn't get medication that he needed. I was still having problems with him as we were trying to get the medication right. A social worker for the Sherburne County mental health caseworker came in, and we started looking at residential and day treatments. I wasn't so sure that's what he needed at first. I thought he needed residential, but we thought we'd try it. He ended up in the hospital again for threatening suicide. He was making it every day, but he was just talking the talk, not walking the walk. At this point, we still couldn't talk. We were still arguing. There was no meeting in the middle. He was doing great at treatment, but at home it was another story. We had done family counseling. I had already talked to Tanya about doing a transition for him. Came to Catholic Charities. They got us in within a week. I was so grateful because I did not know what I was going to do as a parent.
I met Gavin a couple years ago. I did his diagnostic assessment that is required for kids to be able to come into our program. And he has grown and has just surpassed so much in the time that from when he started until he graduated not too long ago. I would say Gavin's story mimics a lot of the kids' stories that we work with. We get to see the shifts starting to happen. It usually starts in our program first, and then slowly things start happening at home and at school. That's one of the beautiful things about our program, is that we don't have like a set time frame where people can be in our program. As long as they are meeting medical necessity and they're working and they're trying, we're willing to invest in the kids until they're at that spot where they could be done.
When he came back, he had the honeymoon phase about a week. We struggled. And then all of a sudden there was actual change.
Getting in the program at Catholic Charities was definitely a struggle at first. I was just there just because, it made my mom feel better, right? But I wasn't really willing to do the work. Within like a month or two, it just actually hit me. I was gonna be an adult soon. And if I didn't step up on something, it caused me to more than likely be in a different place than I am right now. I have a lot more patience than I used to. I would say a lot more determination, motivation to do things, that I normally wouldn't. Not as anxious as I used to be. Not as angry, as violent, as aggressive, not even close. Arguments between mom, physically, completely stopped, pretty much instantly. Because they would teach you skills that you could use right then and there. My future, what I'm excited looking for, getting to know more people like me. I want to also help people that were like me because, you know, I've been in their same shoes in certain circumstances, so I can kind of understand them better than, say, other people that haven't been in the same place.
What it's like to see kids graduate the program, it is probably the biggest reward of being a therapist. To watch them start to love themselves, to start to love life, and feel good with their family, feel good in their community, feel good in school. Donors are a big part of all of the fun and the extras that we get to provide for these kids to make day treatment, which is, you know, 5 days a week, 3 hours a day, intensive, but rewarding and enjoyable. There is so much work that is being done there. Without that program, I think of a lot of the kids who've gone through our program, where would they be right now? Because we still have kids who were in our program 5, 6 years ago. They'll come by and they'll say, hey, I just wanted to say you mattered. You know, I don't know if I would have made it through high school without you. I'll get a random email or a text message from a parent and say, you know, I never thought my child would be where he's at today. And thank you so much for everything you guys have done for our child and our family.
It just helped. It helped a lot. It really did. So yeah, I'm grateful for going through this to show other people, you know, that they can do it. I had horrible motivation, so the fact that I did and got through it, you know, shows, it can show a lot of people that you can too.
I wanted my little boy back. And not having that relationship killed me. So today, having a relationship with him, it means the world to me that we have the tools to make that happen.